Introducing the Genesis story of Noah's flood, I thought it would be fun to bring in this very well done model from the British Museum of the flood tablet from Babylonia. This tablet, the authentic one, actually is in the British Museum. You can go see it there. It is actually tablet 11 of a larger collection of tablets that formed in Babylonia what we know as the Gilgamesh epic. This is a very widely known epic. It almost certainly would have been known in Israel to some of the biblical authors. Copies of Gilgamesh, at least fragments of Gilgamesh, have been found at places like Megiddo in Israel, at Amar, north in the Syrian or Aramaic area, in northern Turkey, Anatolia, in the Assyrian city of Nineveh, further to the east on the Fertile Crescent. So this was a very widely known story. Of course, it contains motifs. The flood motif is known even outside of Israelite cultures, globally around the world, which makes me very sure that it's an archetypal story of birth and rebirth. We'll get to that in the lectures in class. But even in the ancient Near East, we have older flood stories preserved in places like the Atrahasis epic or the Sumerian flood tablet, which date from an earlier time than the Gilgamesh story. But nevertheless, the Gilgamesh story is very interesting with a lot of parallels to the flood. We even have another Babylonian flood tablet that speaks of animals in pairs being brought into the ark. So the Bible is not simply communicating one of many versions of this flood story, nor is it simply receiving the flood story dropped from heaven directly without having to worry about this kind of evidence. I think the key to interpreting the Bible story is to see what spin it takes on this. In what way does it theologically mold, adapt, push back against the Babylonian and other ancient Near Eastern flood stories? It's in discovering those differences, those tensions, those theological modifications by which a theological and spiritual point is made that we discover the theological and spiritual, the canonical meaning of the flood story in the book of Genesis.